What did I watch in July? Let's find out. Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and I'm going to go through now everything I watched in July of 2022. I'm actually one film up on last month. I've seen 14 films this month, and I'll start with them now. The first one I watched is a recent pickup on DVD that I wanted to watch this film again, give it a rewatch, and I didn't have the DVD, so I picked it up for about £3. And it was Judge Dredd from 1995, starring Sylvester Stallone. I had a lot of nostalgia for this film. Remember it being just fun, and obviously it's not the best Dredd film out there. That belongs to probably the Carl Urban one. But I say I have a lot of fun with this film. I think it's just good fun. Yes, basically stars Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd, and Rob Schneider is sort of sidekick in there. And you also got Armand Asante, I think his name is, as Rico, which is Dredd's brother, and he basically gets sort of set up for a crime he didn't commit, and it goes from there. As I say again, it's just a good fun film. It's not the best thing in the world. One thing I did notice on this rewatch is the CGI hasn't aged great on this movie, but it was a laugh, and I enjoyed it, and I actually give it 7 out of 10. I really enjoy it. It's just a good laugh. So that's Judge Dredd. Now, the next film I watched this month is actually Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Now, I recently picked up a box set of, I think it was Tremors 1, 2, 3 and 4 and on DVD, and I've never seen any of the sequels to Tremors. I absolutely love the first one, and I wanted to check these out and get the box set trading to CX because I think it was worth about £4. So I thought, I'm going to get these watched and so I can get rid of it. I didn't really want to. I thought I'm not going to keep it, no matter what the films are like. I mean, if they're really that good, I could always pick up Blu-rays down the line. But anyway, so the first one of those I've seen obviously Tremors loads of times. Absolutely love it. So I thought I'd get onto the sequel. So I watched Tremors 2 Aftershocks, which actually starred Fred Ward from the original. No Kevin Bacon this time, and it was okay. Probably a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. One problem I got with it, and you'll see this with the other sequels going forward, is they've introduced these sort of things called the Shriekers, and it's no longer like worms coming out of the ground so much, but they're like these sort of, I don't know, they fly and everything, like sort of little creatures, and I don't know, I preferred it when it was just worms coming out of the ground. I suppose obviously that's to sort of mix it up and do something different, but I'm not really a fan of these Shriekers, I'll be honest. The obviously special effects aren't great on this one either. As the same with probably most of the sequels as well, but it was okay. It was good to see Fred Ward back, and obviously you got Michael Gross's Gummer, who's just quality. I give this one 5 out of 10. It was okay. Next up, I watched a film with Johnny Depp called Secret Window. Now, I was kindly sent this by Kaz99000 as part of a subscriber mail. Thanks again for that, Kaz. I watched this film. It's kind of a sort of a thriller. it was a bit of a strange film. I think it started off all right, but then it just, I don't know, lost me some sort of halfway through, and as I say, I wasn't a big fan. I've seen better Johnny Depp films, but yeah, I can't really say what it was that I didn't really like. I don't know. It was just a bit weird, and it wasn't really my thing. But I'd give it 4 out of 10. It was sort of just below average for me. It wasn't great. Next film I saw was another Tremors film. I saw Tremors 3, which is Back to Perfection. Now, this one, again, I'll say straight off the bat, I'll give this 5 out of 10. It was alright, but I must admit, I did actually probably enjoy it a bit more than the second one. Mainly because they went back to the original town, and there was a few of the original sort of townsfolk that survived the original film. Obviously, no Kevin Bacon again, no Fred Ward this time. But you had obviously Burt Gummer again, Michael Gross, and you had the girl from Jurassic Park, young girl from Jurassic Park, who'd obviously grown up a bit. She's I think it was one of her first films, Tremors. She went on 3 years later to do Jurassic Park, but then like 3 years down the line, obviously done this. And there was an Asian guy in there as well. I can't remember his name. And a young lad as well that was in the original. Well, it was good to see that they got a few of the original cast back, and from what I remember, there wasn't as many of these shriekers in this one as maybe the second film. I did enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, so that was Tremors 3. So I give that 5 out of 10. Next up, I went to the cinema and I saw Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, when it comes to Marvel films, I basically just have fun with them. I'm not like a huge, massive sort of Marvel fan that picks holes in everything. And when it comes to Thor, I think the original Thor's are one of my favourite Marvel films. I think Ragnarok's better, but I really have a soft spot for the original Thor. I thought it was really, really good. Now this one, not as good as that, not as good as Ragnarok, better than Dark World, but it was fun. There's probably a lot of forced humour in there, but and forced laughs in there. But it was a bit of fun. I could quite enjoy it. I give that 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's Thor: Love and Thunder. Next up is a film I did a review of on my channel. If you look back on my videos, and this was a movie called Mac and Me from 1988, I think it was. And this was a small subscriber mail kindly sent to me by James Millership. No, it wasn't. He recommended it. Sorry, I bought the film. I'm losing it. Yeah, no, sorry. I bought the film on the recommendation of James. And yeah, if you go back and see my video of that, I did give that 4 out of 10. It's it's pretty bad, but it was funny. It was entertaining just because it was funny. Whether it was meant to be, I don't know, but it's kind of basically like an ET rip-off. But yeah, that was Mac and Me. Next up, I saw another Tremors film, finishing off the box set, and that was Tremors 4: The Legend Begins. This one was pretty good. It was kind of a prequel, so it starred Michael Gross again as Burt Gummer, and he was playing one of his relatives. From like in the 1800s, and yeah, it made it a little bit different. From what I remember, it did have some more of these shriekers in there, but I did quite enjoy this one. Probably again more than the second one, I think. But yeah, again like the other Tremors film, though, like I say, at best it was okay, and I give it 5 out of 10. Next up, I've seen a film which I have seen many times before and I really enjoy, and that was Deja Vu. and that isn't a joke. I've seen lots of times. Well, he stars Denzel Washington, and he's basically stars as a cop, and he's investigating an explosion on a ferry in New Orleans, and it's kind of got like time travel elements to it, which I love, and it's hard film to explain really. If you see it, you'll know. I can't really go into spoiler territory, but yeah, Deja Vu. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it. I had this on Blu-ray as part of the Jerry Bruckheimer collection. I've had it for quite a while. It's the first time I've actually watched the Blu-ray itself, and it was very good. And yeah, give that 8.5 out of 10. But as I say, I've always been a huge fan of Deja Vu. Next film I watched was with my daughter on Disney Plus, and that was Zombies 3. Now the Zombies films are basically sort of like a High School Musical, Descendants type films, with zombies basically. And in the second one there was werewolves, and in this third one was aliens as well. And yeah, it's got loads of songs in it. My daughter really enjoyed it. I think she sings the songs already off the top of her head. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I think my favourite zombies film of the ones I've seen is probably the first one. I probably only because I've seen that so many times when my daughter was a bit younger. We watched sort of on repeat, and I just know a lot of the songs off by heart myself. But yeah, I give this one 6 out of 10. It was alright. There's a couple of catchy songs in there, and yeah, that was it. Next film I checked out was a DVD I picked up in Poundland of a film I've seen before a long time ago, and that was Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. Yeah, I couldn't remember much about this. It was only 50p in Poundland, and I just thought, you know what, I fancy giving it a rewatch. And yeah, it's not a bad film. It's basically about this woman that gets a plane with a daughter, and then sort of after sort of an hour or so on the plane, the daughter disappears, and no one sort of seems to believe that the daughter was ever there in the first place. It's kind of a bit of a mystery, and you don't know whether someone's taken a daughter or is it all in imagination. But it's a good, it's quite a good fun film, and yeah, I give that 6 out of 10. It's sort of not bad. And yeah, the next film I saw was another Tremors film. Now, I finished my box set at this point, but I actually re-signed up with Netflix this month because there's a couple of things on there I wanted to get back into, Stranger Things being one of them. And yeah, I found on there Tremors 5 Bloodlines, which is basically Tremors film set in Africa. Yeah, this is probably the worst one I've seen. I just couldn't get into this one. It also starred, as well as Michael Gross again, also starred Jamie Kennedy, who played Randy in the Scream movies. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I couldn't get into this one at all. Wasn't a fan. There was more of the shriekers as well. And yeah, flying tremor beasts, so to speak. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't really a fan. I give that 4 out of 10. Next thing I watched was another film on Netflix. Don't shoot me in the comments, but I watched a Rebel Wilson film called Senior Year. Basically about this girl that she's like a cheerleader in school and has an accident and ends up in the next 20 years in a coma, and then basically goes back to sort of high school to sort of finish her school days as a 38, 37-year-old woman. And it's Rebel Wilson. I mean, I don't really have much of a problem with Rebel Wilson. She's all right. These other sort of people are less a fan of. But this one, yeah, I didn't mind it. It was all right. It's an easy watch. And yeah, give that an average 5 out of 10 as well. Yeah, it was just a bit of fun. An hour and a half went by pretty quick. And the next one I watched again, another film on Netflix. Now this was probably the worst film I watched this month, which was with a couple of the with Mac and Me, That's Saying Something, and a couple of the Tremors films. And it was a film called Endangered Species, and it's basically about this family that goes to like a kind of safari, like on a safari park, and they're supposed to go out with a guide, and I don't think they can afford it, and they basically sort of just drive out into the middle of the, not the outback, but the jungle, not the jungle, what's the word, like the sort of African plains or whatever you want to call them, sort of on their own, and straight away you're like, well, that's a stupid thing to do, and you kind of basically find yourself rooting for the animals. You got, you know, like leopards and rhinos and all sorts of obviously animals out in the wilds of Africa, and yeah, you just hoping the sooner they kill off this family the better, to be honest. Well, I was anyway, just thinking how stupid these people were. And yeah, I give that 3 out of 10. Yeah, not a great movie, I wouldn't really recommend it, but it was just a Netflix throwaway movie. And the final film I watched this month was a film again I've seen before. The DVD I picked up whilst on my holidays, because I just wanted to give it a rewatch. I've been looking out for it in the charity shops and that. And it's a film called Red Eye, starring Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams, about this woman taking a plane, and she basically gets sort of terrorised by Cillian Murphy's character. He's trying to sort of, I think he's trying to get to some people that she works for, and he sort of threatens her dad, and yeah, threatens to kill her dad, and if she doesn't do what he asks, and yeah, it's a good fun film. I did really enjoy Red Eye. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I'd say I want to give it another watch. It's similar to, well, it's similar to Flight Plan in the sense it's both sat on a plane with a lady, but yeah, the Red Eye is a better movie. It's a better thriller for me, and I give that a 7 out of 10. And yeah, that's all the films I watched in July. Comment down below if you've seen any of these movies. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and ring the bell for more videos like this. And I'll see you in August for some more what I watched. See you guys.